Hey, it's Kish.
And it's Roland here.
And we're from Porygon Tube, and we're bringing you round 2 action of the Geelong League Challenge. In this round, we'll be featuring Archie on the left, playing his Yveltal Garbodor deck, versus Henry on the right, playing his Regice, Raticate, Garbodor, I Hate the Meta deck. Roland, what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, well, first, in order to analyse the matchup, first we have to go, what on earth is Henry playing? Well, that's a question that probably few people can answer outside of himself, I think, at this point. So basically, yeah, as you alluded to, it's an anti-meta deck. You're playing a bunch of cards that do well against what's popular at the moment. Regice, is an obvious card in that it prevents damage done to it or any effects by EX cards. So and that takes out a big chunk of the format as is. Then we've got sort of Raticate and Garbodor. So Garbodor obviously shutting off abilities. That's with quite a few abilities being prominent, say Greninja breaks. Giant Water Shuriken is probably the most prominent, but you've also got Volcanion Steam Up, which you saw in the last round. So yeah, Garbodor, another anti-meta card. Raticate is a new inclusion from the new set. A bit of a strange card. We don't really know how it exactly fits into the format, but what we do know is that it's attacked for 1 colorless energy, does 60 damage times the number of special energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. And I know Henry plays a lot of energy disruption cards like Enhanced Hammer and Crushing Hammer, so the aim is that you want to get special energy cards in your opponent's discard pile so you can hit for big damage with Raticate. But that's not strictly the strategy of the deck, because you've got Regice, and I know he also plays Glaceon EX, so it's another sort of disruption card, prevents your opponent from doing what they want to do. Evolved Pokemon can't damage it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's just a whole bunch of cards which give him many options for many different matchups. And he plays a lot of energy hate. There we see him discarding an Enhanced Hammer.
Yeah.
Raticate, of course, also has a first attack called Crunch, which will discard an energy off your opponent's active Pokemon. So Henry was telling me he often plays this in combination with Team Flare Grunt to discard 2 energy off his opponent's active Pokemon. And that's very disruptive for any deck, really. To put them back 2 manual attachments is just pretty strong. And of course, he's got, even the Rattata has the ability Mischievous Fang, which when you bring it into play from your hand, you can discard a tool off the opponent's active Pokemon. So it's just a whole bunch of disruption, which Henry's hoping will eventually wear the opponent down to the point where they run out of resources and are unable to deal with his attackers. So he's got a pretty good start. He's got 2 Regice, a Garbodor, and a Shaman down, and he fishes out another Rattata with that level ball. So a pretty nice turn for him. Yeah,
so he sets up all that he wants to on the first turns. Obviously he's going first, which is nice, but it's not a deck that aims to overwhelm the opponent really quickly. It's not as if it's just going to get a lot of knockouts super quickly. Regice, only does 70 damage, and you're going to need time before Raticate can get enough special energy in the discard pile before it starts doing enough damage to knock out things in one hit, usually.
Yeah.
Unless you get lucky with, say, your opponent Sycamoring a bunch of double colors or something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, Yveltal does play for DCE, so there is definitely fodder for Raticate to sort of feed off of it and do a lot of damage.
Absolutely. And of course, Archie's...
Wow, so this is a great start.
Yeah, he bumps those Shamans off his board.
Yeah.
And jumps a Shaman and Trubbish off his board.
But that Trubbish is really not going to do anything, because obviously the Yveltal decks are also playing Garbodor.
Yeah.
The only way you could really sort of maybe justify having it is to shut off Fright Knight, but that's probably
not too relevant.
Yeah.
The other thing about getting the Parallel City down first is that your opponent can't play down their own Parallel City to bump their own Shamans. So Henry really playing nicely here, recognizes that Archie started with a Shaman, so it's going to be hard for him to get rid of that now that the Parallel City has come into play.
Yeah, absolutely. A Fighting Fury Bolt is on it, so it's interesting. Okay, it looks like he's going to be Sky returning. Probably, you'd think this turn.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting a knockout on that Rattata. Not a lot of HP.
Yeah.
So that Shaman will be able to take it down.
We see a Delinquent in Archie's hand, and he does have the Parallel City as well. So
of course, there is a way of getting around that clause of, you can't play a Parallel City to bump Parallel City, and that's true, but you can Delinquent the Parallel City, then play your own.
Yep.
And also getting the disruption effect of discarding some of your opponent's cards. But he does opt to Ultra Ball and discard both of those things. So probably not something he's going to be looking at at least in the short term.
So he's got a Fright Knight Yveltal. Henry probably not too unhappy to see that. It really doesn't do too much against his deck. He doesn't have any EXs apart from the Glaceon, which he really won't be using in this matchup anyway. So he's not too unhappy to see it there, and it's not doing a whole lot to Regice, 60 damage.
And especially when Regice has that that fighting Fury Belt. Although Fright Night does turn it off.
So
they'll probably be two KOing each other back and forth.
But I think Henry doesn't mind that as much because he wins that trade just because of his energy disruption.
Yeah, and the fact that his deck is just built around attacking with Regice more than Archie's Yveltal deck probably is focused around attacking with Yveltal, so it's more built for that attrition.
So I think Archie may or may not have discarded another double colorless with that Sycamore. Not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. But Henry really putting the pressure on already purely because Archie can either play those double colorless and get them discarded, or keep them in the deck and they're dead cards, or pop them in the discard pile and then fuel Raticate's Shadowy Bite.
Absolutely.
So it's a tough situation when you come up against this anti-meta kind of deck. From Archie's point of view, he's got to hope that Henry whiffs a little bit on his energy disruption, or even being able to power up his attackers. Often decks like Henry's can struggle to power up multiple attackers. If you manage to take out the one Regice with, say, an Escape Rope Lysander play, then that decks like that can struggle to power up a second one. But Henry's got off to a really nice start, so he's going to Ultra Ball. Wonder if he's going to get a Shaman to draw more cards, maybe Eradicate, who knows, and just start attacking. Resistance Blizzard on Regice is just so strong that Yveltal EX won't be able to do anything to it, which means that Archie doesn't have a whole lot of options in terms of alternate attackers. As we said before, that Fright Night doesn't really do a whole lot to the Regice. So already, this early on in the game, just purely because of the style of deck that Henry has, Archie's under a lot of pressure. Of course, he can still get around it, but he has to time his moves correctly when to put down those double colorless, so they don't just get discarded. So we see Henry debate whether to get Eradicate or a Garbodor. He just goes for the Garbodor and Trubbish, instead. So he's really looking for a water energy here to get that Resistance Blizzard off. Of course, Yveltal EX always threatening an Evil Ball with Max Elixir in the format, even if it has no energy on it. So there we see.
There we go. Yeah, and big question is also, does Archie play Pokemon Ranger? Probably most Yveltal decks don't at this point.
Yeah.
But if he did, that would be huge because he would be able to bypass Regice's effect and just knock it out with Evil Ball. But yeah, probably not.
Yeah, it's unlikely. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely. Ranger usually used to shut off or to remove the effect of Jolteon's Flash Ray. But most Yveltal decks don't play the Pokemon Ranger, but it'll be interesting to see if Archie does. So he Trainer's Mails here, fails it. So I think it's really tough. He might want to just power up one Yveltal EX with a whole bunch of basic energy, if he can, and then try and hope for that Escape Rope Lysander play.
Yeah, of course, that's another way. If Regice goes to the bench, the effect of Resistance Blizzard is reset. So it's a nice little kind of trick that Archie could use if he did play those cards,
so he's debating. He knows... He's seen the Enhanced Hammer be discarded with Henry's Ultra Ball. He's seen the Raticate. So
he knows what's coming.
Yeah, he's a bit cagey on attaching that double colors, but what choice does he really have?
Yeah, it is tough.
Yeah, so it's very, very tough.
The only thing you could do is maybe wait. So say you'd end, and then you draw a dark, play it, and then wait to the last possible moment to attach double colors to sort of make it less likely that Henry will be able to discard it, and also make it so that he can still attack.
Yeah.
Another thing that could come into play, although probably it's going to be tough because Archie already discarded a Parallel City, but if he could delinquent the Parallel City and then play a Parallel City of his own, not only can he get rid of any Shamans that are on his board, but he can also reduce Henry's damage output by 20. So if Regice is only doing a base of 50 with Resistance Blizzard, even with 60 from a Fighting Fury Belt, that's still not going to be enough to knock out a Fright Night Yveltal. Well, the Fighting Fury Belt probably won't come into effect.
Yeah.
But and that would be huge because that would mean he would effectively win the prize trade-off. Yeah. But the Parallel City is unfortunately for him pointing the wrong way. So
he's got a very tough choice here. Does he let Henry just take the two prizes? Does he send up the Fright Knight knowing that it might get stuck there?
Yeah.
Does he send up the Yveltal EX knowing that it's pretty much stuck there?
Yeah. It's tough.
And Henry draws an Enhanced Hammer. He might not even play that here. I don't think he... Does he need to play it here? He'll be hitting the Yveltal for 70, and then he'll get hit for 60, which is not a huge amount. So
yeah, look, I think you may as well just play it wherever you can. But
he decides to hold it.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
no,
and
that's
hits
a
a
fair
70 because he knows he's going to be knocking it out next turn.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
almost...
you want to keep your Regices as fresh as... I mean, I suppose, one way you can look at it is you want to keep your Regices as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
Take them as little damage as possible.
Mm-hmm. And we see Archie Lysander the Raticate. So he's probably going for a Pitch Black Spear here. That Raticate does only have 1 retreat cost, so it's just 1 energy attachment away from retreating. And of course, Henry plays Floatstone as well.
Knocks it out.
Oh, sorry. I forgot that it had 60 HP.
Yeah,
What am I talking about?
It's
weak.
It's a bit of an anachronism because
Yeah.
I think the original Raticate also had it 60 HP.
Yeah.
So like 15 years later, it hasn't increased in HP. So.
I just assumed it had more than 60 because it was an evolution.
Even
obviously.
Trubbish has more
Yeah.
HP than poor old Raticate.
So
A good card nonetheless, but getting knocked out there.
So that Fright Knight does go down,
Yeah.
and they trade. So Henry's still in a pretty nice spot here. Archie probably would ideally like to get off some max elixirs onto that benched Yveltal EX, or even the Fright Knight. Either one's fine. He just needs some kind of energy on the board to be able to attack. So he VS Seekers, maybe grab a Lysander or Sycamore, N. It's tough because Yveltal EX really preys on decks which have big bulky EXs and smaller decks which don't have the EXs. The Yveltal EX can just sweep them with Evil Ball, but not when you can't attack for any damage because of Resistance Blizzard.
Yeah,
so
it just happens to sort of fulfill a niche and really be disruptive.
But I think Henry has identified that fact with his deck.
Yeah.
His deck is specifically built to counter these meta decks. So
because as of late, Yveltal Garbodor's really got a target on its head. It's
Yeah.
probably the premier deck at the moment. We saw it do really well at the European Challenge.
The European International Championship, I think it's called. I
Yeah.
don't know. Who knows? Some people call it Continentals.
Yeah, it's.
I think you're thinking of the old ECC.
I am thinking of the old
European
ECC.
Challenge
Yeah,
Cup.
those. Yes,
Yeah.
the old ECC.
Oh, and we see a nice Enhanced Hammer from Archie.
Oh,
come
well,
down.
it goes both ways.
So-
And that is a card we have seen teched
Yeah.
recently into these Yveltal Garbodor decks, and coming in handy here.
Yeah, so he just retreats to the Fright Knight and passes.
If only Archie had a Raticate of his own,
yeah.
it could get a lot of mileage here. But
So Henry drops a DC onto the Regice, discards a Raticate and a Garbodor. Be interesting to see what his Raticate line is, whether it's 3-2, 3-3. So he goes for a Shaman here. He had the DCE in hand to respond to that Enhanced Hammer, so it was pretty nice from him. Gets a Floatstone onto the Garb, sets up. Garb, it's a Trubbish.
not yet. It can flower into a beautiful Garbodor, but we see Henry discarding Parallel City to Delinquent.
Completely disrupts Archie's hand.
Yeah,
actually delinquents him down to 0.
Down to 0. That is the fabled Delinquent to 0.
So huge play from Henry and a useless Fury Belt from Archie. He can't really attach that anywhere.
No, that's the most useless card he could have drawn.
And we might see Henry just sweep the board here.
And it's interesting. It is death by 1,000 needles. Really, it's not quick. It's slow and painful. You're hitting the 70 damage over and over and over again. There's nothing you can do about it. It's awful.
And Henry just points the gun, shoots that Fright Knight Yveltal, and now Archie in a really tough spot. What did he top deck? Oh, a Versus Seeker. Very nice. So Henry's got 4 prizes left, I believe.
Yeah, so he's out here. I mean, he's just got to be able to deal with these Regices because Henry's now got another one on the bench. You got to think that he's going to find that third energy.
Yeah.
It's inevitable, really. If you could get if Archie had another Enhanced Hammer, if you could discard one of the active. Because Regice's effect that protects it from EXs only works when it attacks, obviously. So if you could get him to whiff an attack, then you could follow up with an Evil Ball and actually knock it out. Then you just need to deal with the second Regice, and then you could realistically have a path to victory.
Yep.
But he's going to need something like that.
And Archie does draw the Parallel City, so he can restrict Does he? Yeah, he does. He does draw the Paralysity, so it can restrict Henry's damage output and turn that Regice Resistance Blizzard into a 5-hit KO.
Yeah, like what was mentioned
on
before.
On the Yveltal EX.
It's going to give him a lot more time. Obviously, I mean, yeah, as I mentioned before, like, you know, it's a slow loss. If he doesn't have a way of dealing with it, well, it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
If he does have a way of dealing with it, this is going to buy him enough time to find his way out.
Yeah,
if he does have that way out.
So he's got a bunch of basic energy. There's no reason not to attach.
Yeah, it is possible. He has 4 prizes left with 3 Lysanders. It's possible there are 4 prizes on board, but not even sure if he'd have access to 3 Lysanders at this point. He didn't even attach an energy.
So
yeah, this Trubbish is actually gonna have to be 2 KO just for 1 prize, so he's gonna have a lot of time.
Yeah. Any reason why you can think why Archie chose not to attach that energy?
Oh, did he have an energy in his hand?
Yeah, he's got a couple of basic energy and double colorless energy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why that would be. He didn't attach to retreat, did he?
No, he had the Floatstone Shaman.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not too
sure. Yeah,
sure.
probably. It's a bit of a mystery, but
so Henry plays the Versus Seeker for the Lysander and takes out the Shaman, going down to 2 prizes. Figures he might as well just take that while it's there.
Yeah. And of course, yeah, the minus 20 damage doesn't affect it because Shaman only had 40 HP left. So
Archie might be going for a big Max Elixir play, so he wants to keep the basic energy into his deck, so he can Max Elixir and power up the Yveltal in one go.
Right, so I guess
bypassing any hammers or anything like that.
Yeah. Look, yeah, that is possible if he knows he has Max Elixirs in deck. So doing it all in one sort of surprise go.
And then hoping that Henry just doesn't draw out of the end because he still only has 2 energy onto that Regice on the bench.
Yeah.
So if Archie can somehow deal with the active, there's a possibility that Henry whiffs the energy to keep attacking. So let's see what he can do here. He's only drawing 4 off the end, which is not great. The Ultra Balls probably grab a Shaman, I would imagine.
The other reason that he wasn't attaching is possibly because he just doesn't want to attach that Yveltal EX. Maybe he has another attacker in his deck that he'd rather power up.
It's possible.
Maybe he might even play like Jirachi, Stardust Jirachi. Probably we would have seen it if it wasn't prized at this point. But that's a tech that, again, we see sometimes Yveltal Garb decks play, and that's actually very helpful against Regice. Because not only do you discard the double colorless energy, you prevent yourself from getting attacked the following turn.
And Archie scoops.
So
obviously not finding what he wanted off that Ultra Ball. Maybe that Jirachi, as you were saying, or even an Oblivion Wing Yveltal would be really good.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of text that Yveltal Garb decks could be playing that would make this much easier. But I think, Henry's really caught people off guard. People weren't thinking, I'm going to play against a Regice, Raticate, Garbodor, Enhanced Hammer deck, and I'm going to need to play, a bunch of cards that probably wouldn't be that useful in other matchups. But so it really is fulfilling a niche, and we're seeing him, reaping the rewards of his decision here.
A very smart deck choice.
He's got the blue sleeves to match. It's all very coordinated.
And he's got the Great Ball, which is also blue.
And blue dice, I think. We see some. They may or may not be his.
Yes. Henry, very smart deck choice. Identifying an exploitable weakness in the format. So and he's really caught people, as you said, off guard in this match. We'll see what Archie's strategy will be coming into game 2. It's interesting because, as you said, he might have, when he Ultra Balled, he looked through his deck and just scooped when he realized whatever the card he was looking for was prized. So it might be that card, whatever it is, the Stardust Jirachi, that he needs to swing the matchup in his favor in game 2.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think the unexciting explanation probably is that he just doesn't play it. I mean, of course, there's a chance that it's prized, but just on the laws of probability, it's probably more likely that he just doesn't play them in his deck. And then he's going to have to find other ways of dealing with Regice, be it the escape rope, just Lysandering around it, or just sort of slogging it out with the regular Yveltal. Friday Night, it's... Look, if he gets off to a fast start, you can take enough prizes such that even if you'd struggle to kill a Regice, you can sometimes still take 6 prizes,
Yeah. So Henry Mulligans offers a cut. Archie trusts him, says that.
No, but see, here's the thing: it's a mind game because it's like, well, sometimes I cut, sometimes I don't. That's the true cut, really. If
true.
you always cut, you're not really cutting, are you? It's the same as not cutting.
You've thought long and hard about this.
Oh, I do. Yeah. That gets a workout at every event.
So Henry mulligans twice, which is pretty nice for Archie. He'll probably want to get an explosive Max Elixir start and just try and hit Henry as hard as he can, as fast as he can, before Henry can get those resistance blizzards going.
Yeah, because of course, it's not like an ability. It's something you actually have to attack with for it to work. So, if Regice are on the bench and if he could just get a quick evil ball on, he could actually just start knocking out Regice.
Yep.
Even though, once they start attacking, he can't.
I see a few basic energy and a few Max Elixirs in Archie's hand. He's got an Ultra Ball, which is nice.
Yeah,
so he will have a target.
Is he gonna? Does he have 2 Ultra Ball?
I think he's got 1 and a Fury Belt.
It's a Fury Belt. Yeah, it's one of those red sort of red-black cards. See, the problem is he going to have to Ultra Ball for a Shaman? So that's the thing. If he Ultra Balls for another basic, then he's not going to have any cards to draw.
I think he has to.
I think he has to.
He has to.
There's no point really shaming for one.
I think he has to find just a target to Max Elixir too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise those Max Elixirs aren't playable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then unless you want to Max Elixir to a Trubbish.
To a Trubbish, yeah, probably not the most.
Yeah.
But then you play your Tech Psychic Energy and you attack with the... that would be a way of getting around Regice. Attacking with Garbodor.
Right.
60 damage, Confuse and Poison. It's not an EX. It doesn't get one it cared. If you're worried about this matchup, people out there, just play Psychic Energy.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Or Jirachi or something much, much better. But, just for the heck of it, just play Psychic Energy.
So he goes for the Fright Knight. Max Elixirs. So he hits the Max Elixir, which is nice. It's interesting that he chose the Fright Knight over another Yveltal EX.
Yeah. It's we'll have to see how that goes. It's actually very tough making these decisions because it totally depends on what Henry has.
Yeah.
Will he play Shaman down in the first turn? Things like that.
Exactly. And of course, Archie's really got no experience playing this matchup at all.
Yeah.
He's just got to do things on the fly.
It can be easy to sit back and say, well, I know what Henry's deck is, because I've talked to him, but if you've never seen it before and you're just playing for the first time at a tournament, it's totally different.
Yeah.
There are cards in Henry's deck that he didn't even play in the first game. That Archie couldn't even possibly know about. So yeah.
So very unfortunate for Archie that he didn't see a supporter of what was essentially 10 cards.
Yeah, exactly. When your opponent mulligans heaps like that, and you think, surely I'm going to have something.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't. But fortunately, he did have energy and Max Elixirs and a float zone to treat the active. Yeah.
So Henry Levelwall's searching, probably get a Rattata, and he might discard that tool. There you go. So he discards a float
That's
stone
another
off
thing.
there.
I mean, I suppose. Rattata's in the format, but sometimes you don't think, oh yeah, of course, that's going to come out and discard that tool, and make life quite annoying.
Yeah, probably something that Archie wasn't really thinking about, given he's probably thinking more about the Raticate and the Regice.
Yeah, but of course, Rattata's just an integral, just as much of an integral part of the deck as anything else.
So we see Henry Trainer's Mail, grabs a Sycamore, so he will have a supporter this turn. And he'll probably just be looking for a Regice and an attachment. There's not much else he can really ask for.
It's not a. I suppose if an Elixir possibly could allow him to attack, but the question is, would he want to actually wait for Archie to attack with the Yveltal first?
Yep.
Before then attacking with Regice, so he sort of wins that battle. Because getting damage on the Yveltal EX is not really that important.
No.
Because it's not a big player in the game anyway. So
there we see the Regice come down. Of course, Archie's only got 2 cards in hand, so with his draw he'll have 3, so we might see another delinquent to 0 on Henry's following turn.
Yeah.
So...
again, assuming Archie doesn't draw a supporter.
Yeah.
But he probably wouldn't even mind getting delinquented at this point. He attaches an energy, well, there's not much he can really play from his hand.
Exactly.
Where delinquent really hurts is when you've actually got cards you want, obviously, in your hand.
So,
plays water.
Henry gets everything he really needs on the first turn.
Yeah, it doesn't really want for much on the first turn of the deck.
So, what? Trainer's Mail? Yes.
Yep.
So, a nice top deck from Archie. Hopefully, he sees a supporter in that top 4. Just a Max Elixir.
No, unfortunately, doesn't. Yeah, that's a lot of cards with no supporters. You got to think they're bunched up elsewhere in the deck, or possibly prized. Yeah,
we have seen supporter counts sort of supporters rather sacrificed in place of other cards purely because you have a Shaman draw engine.
Yeah,
So
that's true, yeah.
most decks running 4 Sycamore, 2 N, something like that in terms of draw support. So,
yeah, and then they play a bunch of niche sort of supporter cards, but they're not going to help you out of these situations.
And
See that enhanced hammer.
Very painful enhanced hammer.
Seeing that is just, yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Unless you've had the fortune of playing a deck with purely basic energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want to get enhanced hammer, just play your Volcanion or
just
Garbodor or something like that, so you don't have to deal with the pain.
Yeah,
Scizor, yeah. Just don't play shield energy. Yeah.
So, it's an interesting meta at this tournament. This tournament actually took place.
We see Bunnelby, just the Wheel of Fortune of Pokemon are just being, rolled out here.
Yeah. So, just another card Henry can use to recover his resources, double colorless, enhance hammers,
and even to disrupt it and possibly,
deck out.
Threaten the deck out situation. Yeah. I mean, obviously that's not the pure focus of his deck, but it's something that he can threaten. And if he could Lysander up something, discard a Floatstone with Rattata, and he could possibly, that could be.
Oh, he's threatening the crunch here.
The crunch. It's crunch time.
Yeah. Of course, that Yveltal's got a Fighting Fury belt on it, so it's not moving anytime soon.
No, it's
and
not.
He knows Archie's got a somewhat dead hand. Not dead hand, so...
almost non-existent,
yeah. So, Henry probably digging for a Floatstone, gets a Rattata, discards the second tool off Archie, so that Rattata's Mischievous Fang really putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, and he wants to use the ability before he gets the tool on Garbodor, so he's probably going to need a Floatstone to retreat Garbodor if he doesn't draw like an escape rope.
So he puts down the Parallel City, bumps a Shaman.
And that's crucial, so he gets it down so that Archie can't play it the other way around, as we saw last game.
So Archie does draw a Sycamore, so that's really nice.
Yeah, great top deck. Top decking Sycamore. It's like you're in the desert and you see pool of water. Yeah.
Feels good, man.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying, it's this tournament, the meta was really dark. It was really dark. It was a whole bunch of dark
the lighting
decks.
of the tournament was great. There was there's nothing wrong with the lighting.
Yeah.
Great facilities at Geelong,
So,
I think what he meant to say was that, there were a lot of dark Pokemon.
Yeah, Yveltal, Garbodor, Darkrai, Giratina. Henry recognizing this and going with the Regice option, which is proving to be quite successful in this match at least. So he painfully Sycamores an Enhanced Hammer and a third VS Seeker,
and then we see that Glaceon.
Yep.
Again, just more cards, but that's not really going to come in. Of course, that would be the take against when you attack with Garbodor. So, but yeah.
And here we see a Resistance Blizzard coming into action here. So he'll just hit Archie for the 70 damage. So, Enhanced Hammer, that's what I was going to say. If Archie can get an Enhanced Hammer off here and a Center Lady. But unfortunately, he's got no other cards that he could draw into off that Sycamore.
Yeah, and then that's what, we're talking about before. Like, it's a supporter card, but it's not a draw supporter card, and it's not going to... So, probably would have preferred Sycamore.
And Henry's got the follow-up DCE, so he'll be hitting for another 70 damage, putting that Yveltal up to 80.
Yeah, so we'll have 2 turns before he gets knocked out. And can we just talk about, Henry's... I believe those are the Expedition Energy, the e-reader cards. If anyone actually knows what they are, well, props to you.
Yeah.
Give it a Google.
Yeah, very, very nice. Not too popular when they first came out.
No.
I can remember, very controversial at that time. I can remember opening a pack and being like, what is this?
Well, I think I was looking through a different lens, rose-colored glasses perhaps, but yeah. Okay, so not much, just a Resistance Blizzard. Henry's content at this point. He's got... the only thing that he would really want is another Regice to power up. Probably, doesn't have much in his hand.
And we see
Archie
unfortunately benches the Shaman. And Garbodor, of course, shuts off Shaman setup, so we've all done it. We know how it feels. Really unfortunate for Archie. Of course, he's got a dead hand.
Yeah.
He wants to see some cards, so just dropping the Shaman immediately. But he does get a Y Cyclone off for no damage. But he moves the DC to his bench Fright Knight Yveltal.
Yep.
And Henry just going to take the 2 prizes here, maybe Enhanced Hammer or something on the benched Fright Knight.
Yeah, so how many DC are in Archie's discard pile at the moment?
Well, we know Henry's hit 1, so I imagine there's probably one, maybe 2 in the discard pile.
Yeah, and good conserving that double colours energy so that the Yveltal doesn't get knocked out with the double colours, so that it would go in the discard and allow Raticate to do more damage.
So, we see just a Pitch Black Spear for 60 damage. Henry might want a Fighting Fury Belt here, but he puts a Float Stone on, and he's choosing to crunch this turn, so he might have a Flare Grunt in hand.
So probably has something like that.
So he's just having a look at how many energy are in the discard, or he might even go for the shadowy bite.
Yeah, absolutely. And knowing that, there's no point really attacking with Regice because there's no EXs in play.
There we see the Flare
discards
Grunt.
there we go. So the question is, does that make 3 double colors? Because of course it's 60 times the amount of...
And he just crunches.
He's just using the crunch, yeah.
So Archie, he'll need a double colorless to just even attack, but of course you're just feeding the Raticate more double colorless, powering up the shadowy bite.
Yeah. He would be able to knock it out, but then Henry could just follow up with another Raticate wall, but you could just
resistance blizzard.
If he draws a double colorless, knocks out the Raticate, Henry attacks with Regice, then he can actually finish off that Regice. Then if Henry doesn't draw like another Raticate with an energy, he could have an opening.
That's right. Yeah, so a small window of opportunity here for Archie, but I don't think he has much in his hand, unfortunately, so he can't really exploit that. And there we see the delinquent Henry puts Archie's hand down to 0 again, so he will probably just shadowy bite for the knockout.
Yeah, and there we see the Lugia, yet another card coming out of the woodwork.
Yep.
But it's threatening just good damage.
Yep.
It does 20 damage times the number of energy attached to both Lugia and the defending Pokemon. So harking back to Mewtwo EX.
Yeah.
The days of old, but yeah.
And of course it has a Deep Hurricane attack for 4 energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
150.
And it discards the stadium in play.
Discards the stadium.
So it could be useful to discard a Parallel City that's put the other way.
So it's just it's just an alternate attacker that's very useful in it's very versatile really, and allows Henry to hit above his normal 70-80 damage cap. Of course he can hit for more if there's more, and Archie just scoops, and that is the game. That's the match. So I think Archie unfortunately just didn't draw what he needed to, and credit to Henry again for building his deck to exploit this weakness in the
and played it masterfully, so knew just how to disrupt at the right time, and and it's great that we get to see such a unique deck.
It's not often that you get to see rogues nowadays, a lot of net decking and what have you, so Henry very creative, credit to him, and unlucky for Archie, hopefully he goes well for the rest of the tournament. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back with round 3. Please subscribe if you like the channel, and leave any feedback you have in the comments section. Cheers, guys. We'll see you in round 3.
I was going to be...